Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. And today I am going to be tasting 4 different sparkling wines from the Alsace region of France. These are all Cremant d'Alsace. And the idea here is in celebration of the Alsace region, once a year they'll put on a Twitter feed, hashtag Alsace Rocks. So if you're following this on Thursday the 26th of June between 4 and 5 Pacific time, you're going to be seeing a bunch of the producers of these wines talking about them, and maybe you'll see me chiming in as well. So go ahead and follow that, and if you are seeing this video after that date, you know, I hope you had a chance to try these wines, and maybe you can taste them along with me. Now, the first wine on the list here is the Lucien Albrecht Cremant d'Alsace. Now, when we talk about Cremant, essentially we're talking about sparkling wine from France that is not champagne. So it's not from the Champagne region, and they don't have to stick to those same rules as far as making sure that it has to be Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, or any combination of those three. Really, when you talk about Cremant, this is the sparkling wine in France that can kind of play by its own rules. I mean, the big thing is it just has to be sparkling. And I'm a big fan of Alsatian wines in general, especially, you know, Alsatian Riesling is just so tasty. You know, this is a cooler area of France where they really bring some good acidity out of their wines. Now, with this Lucien Albrecht, this is the Blanc de Blanc Cremant d'Alsace. It's brut, so it's going to be relatively dry. And normally when we think about Blanc de Blanc, that's a white wine made from white grapes. And typically when we think about champagne, that's going to be 100% Chardonnay. Now, as far as this one, it's going to be 80% Pinot Alsace, 10% Pinot Blanc, and 10% Chardonnay. So there is a little bit of Chardonnay, but I mean, we do have some other strange ones. I've never had, and forgive me for having trouble pronouncing this, Pinot Auxerrois. Auxerrois. That's one of those wacky names from the Pinot family, and I bet you it's really just like Pinot Gris or something like that. But anyways, I mean, color-wise, we are getting this really nice golden yellow color. You're going to notice with the fogginess on the glass, these are pretty well chilled at this point. I have had them pulled out of my fridge for the last half an hour, but there's still probably a little bit of a chill to this. Now, on the nose, I'm getting green apple, I'm getting honey, I'm getting that crushed rock, I'm getting that squeeze of lemon in there. And even almost like a little bit of like a walnut on the nose as well, on the palate. Again, this is something that I really like about Alsatian wines. I just think about things that are fresh, that are crisp, that are bringing this really nice acidity. And that backbone, that acidity is definitely there when we're talking about this Blanc de Blanc. Really nice long lemon citrus acidity. There is this nice base of minerality as well. Nice fine bubbles, and what's so fun with sparkling wine is that those bubbles really, you know, it is very much this festive type of thing when we're drinking that sparkling wine. And those bubbles and that acidity really helps as far as being able to pair these wines with quite a variety of foods. Yeah, I mean, really, this is just a nice, solid, sparkling wine. I'm going to give it 87 points. I mean, really nice quality juice. I don't have a price range on this one, but I'll put a link below, and I'll probably include that price there. But we're off to a pretty good start so far. So this next one, it's going to be another white sparkling wine, another white Cremant d'Alsace. This is going to be the Gustav Lorenz Cremant d'Alsace. All these are going to be non-vintage, so these grapes were pulled from different years, and very much the idea is that these non-vintage sparkling wines, which you see with champagne and sparkling wines from California all the time, it really is almost kind of speaking to the winemaker. So it's not so much as how things are changing from one year to the next. It's really just highlighting the best of what this region does year in and year out, and the best of the winemakers from this region. So in a way, like when I think about sparkling wine, it's kind of how you would think about beer, right? You don't really look at the vintage for your Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. You just enjoy it, right? And so the same thing's happening here. Now, so with this Gustav Lorenz, this one is going to be 33% Chardonnay, 33% Pinot Blanc, and 33% Pinot Noir. So it's closer to a more typical type of champagne type of blend, except for that Pinot Blanc, but it does have the Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir in there. And again, this is another white one. I do have two rosés that I'm going to bust open after this. So color-wise, you know, it's weird, just the angle you guys are at and with the light that's up in the ceiling there, you guys are always going to get more of a golden hue, but I'm telling you that this is quite a bit more pale than the last wine that we opened up. On the nose here, I'm getting a whole lot more of that lemon juice and lemon zest. I'm getting a little honeysuckle in the nose as well. Now, all these wines, even though they are not champagne, they do follow that same method champenois, that method traditionnel, where there is a secondary fermentation of this wine inside of the bottle. And that's where that fizziness, those bubbles are coming from, that secondary fermentation inside of the bottle, where the yeast are taking the sugar that's in that wine and they're converting it into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Only a little bit of that alcohol is actually coming from the secondary fermentation, though. You just want it to ferment a little bit once it's in the bottle. Otherwise, it's going to explode. All right. All right, so on the palate, again, nice big acidity, really long acidity. This finish is still carrying as I'm talking to you right now, and maybe you can even tell as I'm talking to you right now. The acidity is so intense that I really am salivating. I spit enough when I talk. You wouldn't want to be anywhere close to me right now because I can see these little beads of spit flying out. So really just rock solid, awesome acidity. The bubbles are coming off as being quite a bit more fine inside of the mouth. So I mean, the smaller the bubbles, the more bubbles there are, and so there's almost more of a some creaminess, some velvetyness from the bubbles, from that carbon dioxide. And yeah, again, this is really some intense lemon citrus. A little bit of like orange zest in there as well. Yeah, it's very clean. I mean, to go along with to go along with that acidity, I mean, that creaminess from those bubbles, I mean, it's just kind of a nice, you know, straightforward type of Cremant here. Really nice, really tasty, nothing wrong with it. You know, the acidity might be a little bit too intense. For some of you, it's not as well balanced in terms of its acidity compared to this last guy over here. But it's nice. I'm gonna give it, you know, in comparison to the other one, I don't think it's going as far. I don't think it's as well balanced. So I'm gonna throw an 88 at the Gustav Lorenz right here. But nice wine. Nothing wrong with it, man. So I'm gonna jump into this rosé right here. And so I do have these two rosés for you. This one is the Dolphi Cremant d'Alsace Brut Rosé. This is $17 and it's 100% Pinot Noir. So what you're going to notice with these last two rosés, yeah, they're both 100% Pinot Noir. So that is more typical and more in line when we talk about sparkling rosés from Champagne. Pretty much the same style, the same grapes, just a different location, a cooler location, a place where we really are getting that higher acidity, right? Yeah, so let's take a peek at this guy right here. So nice salmon color on that. You can really see, or at least I did for a second, you can see those small fine bubbles kind of kicking in right there. On the nose, wow, different. It's weird because the last thing I said was I mentioned the color as being salmon, and I take this sniff and I'm smelling something that I didn't expect, and for a second my mind was saying, is that salmon I smell? No, there's not salmon in the wine. There's a real nuttiness on the nose here, and almost wow. In a sense, it almost is giving me a nose that is similar to, and bear with me here, similar to like a dessert wine, like similar to like a fortified, like a port or something like that. If you take away the sting from the alcohol, from the brandy that's in a port, and you just think about the underlying aromas after that, there really is, I don't know if you guys are really into that, but that nuttiness that comes in a port and a lot of other dessert wines, I'm sensing it on this, which is kind of neat, and it's kind of unexpected here. I'm getting like a little bit of strawberry beyond that. Yeah, but that nuttiness is just it's unmistakable. It's there. You're not gonna miss it. You're gonna go, whoa, that's different. It really is. So on the palate, I'm getting that nuttiness on the palate too. I am getting like a whole lot of acidity. I am getting a little bit of like orange zest. Wow. In some sense, and I feel bad saying this, like I'm wondering if there's some bottle variation happening here. I'm wondering if maybe this bottle is off a little bit, because what I'm tasting is unmistakable as far as you can't miss what I'm tasting right here. I'm just not necessarily sure if that's what they were going with. I'm hoping for their sake that this bottle is flawed, and that's kind of where my mind is taking me right now, because if it's not, then I really think that they missed the mark. This is... Wow. I feel bad, guys. You know, I rarely look at the tasting notes that they give me, but I almost want to just breeze through this. So I'm going to tell you what they're saying. It's pink with tinges of orange. Nose, the bouquet is full of red berry fruit, and I didn't sense any of that. Mouth, lively, I'll give you that, good acidity. Round and elegant on the palate. It is round, I mean, those fine bubbles are definitely there. Not elegant. It's a harmonious wine with pleasant, long-lasting aromas. So I'm going to tell you, that nuttiness that is there is definitely long-lasting. It's just not pleasant. Dang! I hate to say this, Dolph and Irion. I'm thinking maybe I got a bad bottle. I'd love to retaste this. Does that say that I don't give this a score? I don't know. I opened it up and I tried it, and I don't like it. So pending review, because maybe, you know, maybe I'm going to retaste this and it's exactly the same and it's what they're going for. Pending review, I would give it an 80, and I would pass on it at $17. Sorry. Let's try this last rosé. Let's see if we can make up for that. So this is the Charles Bauer. Let me write down my little note here. Okay. All right. So this is the Charles Bauer Cremant Alsace. This is another Brut rosé non-vintage, and again we're talking about 100% Pinot Noir. It'd be interesting because, I mean, if this Brut rosé has that same weirdness that I got on that last one, then maybe that's just what they like to do with their Brut rosés and Alsace. I hope not. I hope not. This is what I'm looking for. So, I mean, again, this one is quite a bit more pale than the last one. It does still bring kind of like that salmon color. You guys are seeing more of the bubbles that are hanging out on the top, but definitely more of that salmon color. And on the nose, I am getting that strawberry fruit. I am getting that like orange blossom type of nose. A little bit of that lemon citrus as well. Definitely this really nice creaminess. Sorry about that, guys. I was right in the middle of tasting that Charles Bauer Rosé Cremant Alsace, and I ran out of space on my camera. So back into it. I was talking about the palate, right? So let me reintroduce myself. And as I was saying, you know, there is this nice creaminess on the palate due to those really fine bubbles. Much with those other Cremant d'Alsace samples here, there's that really nice long acidity that's carrying through the entirety of the finish. And I'm just getting a lot of freshness. There's this vibrancy to this wine, a little bit having to do with the sparkles, a little bit having to do with the killer acidity on this, and I am getting a little bit of that like red strawberry fruit. You know, what I'm noticing with the Cremant d'Alsace as compared to Champagne and as compared to the sparkling wines of California is that I'm I'm not getting much of that like yeastiness and bready characteristic that I get from a lot of those other sparkling wines. These Cremant d'Alsace are all just really vibrant and fresh and just straight up, more than anything else, acidity, which I like. You know, some of these are a little bit more well balanced than others, but these are definitely all really nice efforts. With this Charles Bauer right here, you know, it's falling in line with the other ones as far as, you know, I'd give it an 88 plus, right? It's a nice wine, and I definitely think that this is a place to consider. Really, if you're tired of the same old sparkling wines from California, if you're not looking to spend a ridiculous amount of dough getting champagne, why not go with a Cremant? Why not go with a Cremant d'Alsace? And why not just see what else is out there? I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I always love doing them. And thanks again to 2In Communications for sending these samples out to me. I hope you guys are all participating in the Alsace Rocks Twitter tasting. And enjoy. Till next time, everybody, stay rad.
Stay mad at wineblog.com.